Hello everyone, how you guys doing? This is Freda. You are with Freda, cooking with Freda Grandma Martha style. And we are starting the new year off right. We're getting ready to start doing a coconut cake. So I'm going to take you through the steps of doing the coconut cake. And this is, of course, like I said, all homemade right here, Grandma Martha style with me. Okay, so this year we're going to not only be bringing you baked goods, but we're going to be bringing you just cooking, food in general. I love food, as you can see. I love baking. I love to bake, but I do also love to cook. So I wanted to introduce to you Cooking with Freda Grandma Martha style, because we're going to be doing both food and baking. Okay? So today we're going to start off with our coconut cake, and we have our unsifted wheat flour that we're going to use, and this is self-rising wheat flour, and we're going to do 2 cups of that. So a little thing I have to tell you about how I bake. Okay, I was raised to bake off of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, or a pinch of this, pinch of that. Do it till you taste, baby. Just do it till you taste, baby. And that is what I call just soul cooking. You're cooking from your soul. You're cooking with love. So I do have measurements and the recipes online. So when I get to going into baking and I'm doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, don't be discouraged. It's online. I have it all online. Just want to walk you through it a little quickly so you won't have to, be so detailed right now. But sometimes I may not do measurements with some of my stuff because I cook like that. I may want to veer off and put something spicy into it, ramp it up a little bit. So don't be a little upset if I don't go by measurements, because that's just not how I cook. That's not how I bake. I do it to my taste. And if I think it needs a little bit more, I put a little bit more. So that's how we bake around here. But we do start off with the basics with cake. With putting measurements together. And that is 2 cups of flour. And I prefer, because I've always wanted to do healthy, so I've been doing that for the last 3 years with my cakes. They're about 90% healthy, all natural. 90%, I didn't say 100%. The only thing is 100% that we produce is our frozen sweet potato pie filling. Now that is 100% natural, as natural as it can be. So, but we're going to start off with 2 cups of our flour. So let's get this done right here. Putting the flour in, I'm going to get it up to 2 cups for you. As my grandmother used to say, she used to not just say 2 cups, because see, this right here says 2 cups, but my grandmother would always say 2 heaping cups. So that ain't 2 cups. That's over 2 cups. Okay, so I'm going to keep it Grandma Martha style. And I'm going to do 2 heaping cups. How about that? Because we're keeping it Grandma Martha style. So we're doing 2 heaping cups of flour. This is heap as I'm going to get it. And I'm going to pour this right in. And then we're going to do our sugar. So we're going to do 2 cups of sugar, not heaping cups, okay? Because you can do it where you have too much sugar and it'll make your cake be flat. It'll make it heavy or fall. And so when you find your cakes are falling, that's what may be the problem. You may want to check your sugar versus your flour. Because if you have more sugar than you have flour, it's going to make your cake fall, okay? So we're going to do 2 cups of sugar. Keep it right at 2 cups. We don't want to over sweeten it. Don't want it to fall or anything. And while we're doing this, I have my stove already prepared to 350, cooking at 350. Well, baking at 350. So we have that sugar in, and then we're gonna do our eggs. So we're gonna do our 3 eggs. You can do 4. It just helps bind it and rise a little bit. And like I said, I use self-rising flour. So you may not see me use too much of baking powder, baking soda. You might not see me use that much of those items because I already use self-rising flour. It helps it to rise. It has all those things in there already. So I don't have to have those extra ingredients to put into my cake. And also, you may not see me add salt to my cake because I use salted butter that's already salted. So that way I don't have to use, the raw salt in there. But I use salted butter. And so those ingredients you may not see me use in the cake that you may be used to. Okay, so we're going to do that. And so we're going to use, I don't use regular milk. I use buttermilk, whole buttermilk. And that helps moisture the cake. And I normally put a cup of buttermilk in there. Just pour it in there with everything. I do, before I pour this in here, I do go ahead and just mix that all together so it can combine together. Okay? Don't want to take you too fast here. But if you do just put it all in there, as long as it gets stirred up real well, you won't have a problem. So we're putting the buttermilk in. That's 1 cup of buttermilk. So we have that out the way. And now I'm getting ready to heat up my butter. Now I normally heat my butter up over the stove. It's just an old habit. And it's something my grandma always did. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm doing 2.5 sticks of butter. Okay? So we're going to put that in there and get the other one and slide it in there as well. Get that butter off in there. We want all that butter in there. That's going to put some taste to the cake. And like I said, this is going to be a coconut cake with a little bit of pineapple in it. Okay. Let me wipe my hands here. So we're getting that melted up for you. So while we're getting that melted up, we're going to go ahead and put our eggs in. Now, if you're not good with eggs, I advise you to use a separate cup, like a measuring cup, and put your eggs in so you won't get any shells in there. I'm pretty good with eggs, so that's what I normally just crack them on and put them on in there. So we're going to add the eggs now. Go ahead and get this on low stirring. We're going to crack our eggs one at a time and add them, letting it incorporate with it. See? No problem. No shells today. Okay? So we're letting that incorporate. And what I normally do, I use a flavor in it. Old time favorite flavor. You can use what you want. Vanilla nut, vanilla. I sometimes use 2 different kinds. It doesn't matter what type of cake I'm cooking. I could be cooking a chocolate cake or I could be cooking a coconut cake. I'll still use about 2 or 3 different flavors. Because that's just how I do. That's how I was raised. And I'm cooking it Grandma Martha style, you know. And sometimes I'll venture out and just do something totally different. But most of the time I stick within what my grandmother has showed me and what I know. And the best results come from that most of the time. And then we do have some positive results from, doing it another way. like a lot of people do their butter and their sugar together. They go ahead and bind that together, or go ahead and get that mixed up together real soft. I've done it that way a couple of times. Still turns out great. But I just love to go ahead and melt my butter on the stove and then add my butter in after I've already incorporated everything. And then it just seems like it gives it more, I don't know, more soul or something to it. You know, so that's the way I normally do it. And what I'm going to do is go ahead right now and line my cake pans together with some oil. Now, most of the time I will have some parchment paper, and I'll put it on the pan so that my cakes can come out easier. I don't have any today. I wished I did, because, you know, I don't really know how it's going to come out. It should come out pretty good if I let it cook well. So, we'll see what happens, okay? So, we're getting our butter done very, very well up here. You see it melting? Is that good butter? It smells good. And we're going to put all this together. And see, that was very easy. I mean, we still stuck with some measurements. We had 2 cups of flour, 2 heaping cups, okay? And 2 cups of sugar, 3 eggs. I didn't tell you how much flavor. I took a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I mean, to your taste, you know? And you always have to have your little spoon to the side so you can, I don't think so. So after I put my butter in, that's what I'll do. I'll taste to make sure. So we have this, it's melted very good. That's 2.5 sticks of butter. And so while this is going, we're going to put this in. And so we like to have our eggs already in there incorporated, because you don't want any scrambled eggs in your cake. That's a no-no. Okay? Can't have a cake with scrambled eggs. There we go. So all that is good. And like I said, I have my stove already on 350, ready for the cakes to go in. See, that was simple. And it's all homemade, and it is as natural as it can be. The only thing in here that is not really natural is some of my flavoring. I have it's a little dye in here. If you don't want to use any flavor with dye, go for it, because it will still taste great, and it'll still be homemade from you. Okay? So don't be, you know, beat yourself up with it if you can't do everything all natural. We do the best that we can, and then we keep on, you know. We know better, we do a little bit better. And then as we learn different ways, different avenues, we try to incorporate it. But if it takes away from the soulness, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay, so we're going to see the consistency of how our cake is supposed to look. Now, this is how the cake is supposed to come out looking. Now, I'm going to take this right here and taste it real quick. And this is just to make sure, what I'm tasting for is to make sure it doesn't taste so floury. So that'll tell me if I got too much flour and not enough sugar. Okay, so that tastes perfectly. And then I'm going to take my spatula, go around, get the bottom, bring it up. Okay, so that I can get everything incorporated in it, because these little things don't get it all the time. So you have to get it incorporated in here. And so after we get this done, we're going to whip it up a little bit more. And then it's ready to go into the oven. And we're going to come back and show you how and what the finished product looks like, okay? And I'm going to layer it. I'm not going to go ahead and put it all together. What I'm going to do is just make sure I take it out the pan, and then I'm going to put each one on, layer it, put the you know, the coconut and all that stuff on it. Now I have some, because I bake a lot, I have some pineapple coconut filling that I've already done right here. And what I'm probably going to do is just put it in the pot and let it warm a little bit, because it's been in the freezer. And then I already have some of my icing, cream cheese icing done. And it was filled up to the top, but about gone. I don't even know if that's going to last, so I might end up showing you how to do a little bit of cream cheese frosting as well, you guys. So let's get ready to pour these into the pan and put them into the stove, and we will be right back with the finished product. As promised, well, it won't be completely finished. I'm gonna walk you through how to put it on and layer it and make it look all halfway pretty and stuff like that. So thank you again for tuning in with us, and we'll be right back to show you the finished product. And as I said, check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Follow us. Is it anything else? I can't think of anything. At Periscope. Just Google us and follow us. Whatever you have to follow us, whatever app you have to follow us, just follow us. And like I said, this year, this is what we're going to be doing at least once a week, bringing you something that we cook and bringing you something that we bake. And everything that you guys go on our website and purchase, we're doing 10% towards the Salvation Army. We haven't picked out which one we want to do yet, but I think I have one in mind that we already associate with. So we're going to do 10% of the proceeds go to them, but we're not going to do the monetary. We're going to go and buy exactly what they need, and then we're going to take it to them with the receipt, with the amount. Say like if you guys, if Sweets for You gets a purchase of $5,000 that whole month, we'll do $500 towards the Salvation Army purchasing that. And so we're going to take it to them, and then we'll do pictures and everything showing that we took it to them. And we're going to want to get you guys involved as well, to be able to present some of it to some of those people that are in need, to help us do that. So stay tuned and keep us in prayer, and we'll keep you in prayer as well. And we look forward to coming to bring you great things with Cooking with Freda Grandma Martha style. I love you guys. Keep God first. Do good, the best that you can. Keep your head up and make it work.